Hello students, I am Dr. Shrikant Bause, Assistant Professor at Department of Advanced Management Studies, GS College of Commerce, Wardha. Today we are going to study one of the most interesting topic of random walk hypothesis and how the efficient market hypothesis is evolved from over the time. Right from the ancient days, you talk about 100 years before, 1000 years before, or even 2000 or 3000 years before. In each and every era, each and every generation was having a great expectations of becoming rich and affluent. Right from the ancient era, people like king, queen used to think how they can multiply their wealth, how they can generate a great amount of wealth. Even the small farmer or even a middle class person, or take an example of a student, can also think or used to think that how he or she can become very rich, very affluent, extremely wealthy. So there are n number of ways for becoming rich and affluent, but from many years, right from the day on which the stock markets were invented, the people started thinking that how they can take the maximum benefit of this stock market for earning huge returns, multiplying their wealth and becoming rich and wealthy. So this is a matter of great curiosity and enthusiasm for each and every person. There were thousands and lakhs and crores of people who systematically or unsystematically invented their own strategies, methods and systems for trading and investing into the stock market. Many of the great economists, physicists and financial analysts, research analysts came up with thousands of ideas that how they found that by using a certain pattern or using certain skills or knowledge, they can become or you can become very rich. So there were some recognized people whose contribution in the emergence of financial analysis, market analysis, portfolio construction and securities market is undoubtedly very high. We will today study that how these things evolved over the time and how these great economists, physicists and financial analysts came up with their respective observations, how were their practicals, what they found and how these things are still applicable to the today's stock markets and capital markets. Though these are very old and traditional theories, today's modern finance is also depending on these theories, as these theories are considered to be the foundation, strong base of modern finance. So in this video we are going to study the introduction to random walk and the search of different theories by the great economist. So today we are going to study firstly Maurice Kendall theory, which he proposed in the 1953, followed by the two papers of Harry Roberts and Osborne, which were published in 1959, and after that we are going to study one of the most biggest success theory of Eugene Fama of 1960s, followed by the Benjamin Friedman and the great investor of all time Warren Buffett and the views of today's modern economist. So let's start with the 1953's observations of Maurice Kendall. What Maurice Kendall did, he wanted to found a certain pattern. This pattern may be in this way or in this way or even this way, that how stock prices are behaving, there must be certain pattern. So this was the assumption of Maurice Kendall. So he examined the stock and commodity prices over the period of time for say months, years and decades. He was in search of a regular cycle. What is meant by the regular cycle? The regular cycle, I am giving you a simple example, that there are some cyclical stocks. As we all know that the Indian economy is agricultural based economy and we are having two seasons, Rabi and Kharif. So whenever the monsoon arrives, before that the investors and traders who used to trade into cyclical stocks, the stocks which are related to agriculture, for example the stocks of insecticides, pesticides, fungicides, algicides and even the stocks of seeds companies used to go up, used to rise right from the month of June, July, August. These cyclical investors and traders notes that in the month of monsoons and post monsoons, the numbers of these companies will be excellent. So if the monsoon goes well, these investors and traders buy the shares of agricultural stocks in the month of April and May when they are at the bottom, and every year they found that in the month of June, July, August, September, this stock rises considerably, and these people used to make somewhere around 30 to 40% returns every year by investing onto this concept. So this is a cyclical nature of agricultural stock. So Maurice Kendall also tried to found that is there certain regular pattern. Then after his study he found that in a regular stock market, on the broad stock indices and the agricultural commodities, there is no regular price cycle. So he got disappointed. He was wondering about the price movements, that how the stock prices are going up and how the stock prices are going down. After that, what he did, he drew a random number and added to current price to determine the next week price. I can simplify it for you. What Mr. Maurice Kendall did, he took a certain number randomly, say 10 is the random number. If the current stock price is of 100 rupees, he added 10 random number into the 100, it became 110, and he found that in the next week whether the stock price goes up from 100 to 110. But here also he found that the stock prices are moving randomly. They are not following any pattern, any particular trend. So he concluded that the successive price changes are independent of one another. That today if the price is 100, tomorrow it may be even 102 or it may be 98. It may be 110 or it may be 90. It may be 105 or it may be 95. So there is no relation between the stock prices of consecutive days. There will be independent price movement each and every day. So this was the complete study of Maurice Kendall in 1953. Now the next study is of Harry Roberts and Osborne in the year 1959. Harry Roberts and Osborne published two papers which were recognized internationally, and these two papers supported the findings of Maurice Kendall that stock prices move randomly and there is independentness between the stock prices, that stock prices are not depending on each other. See what Harry Roberts did. He found a series obtained by accumulating random numbers bore resemblance to a time series of stock prices. There will be a time series which may be on the basis of week or month or years, and he found that the accumulating random numbers are resembling to the time series of stock prices. In the next study, Mr. Osborne, who was internationally recognized eminent physicist, what he did, he said that the stock price behavior is similar to the movement of very small particles in a liquid medium, which he referred as a Brownian movement or popularly known as Brownian motion. So as he was the physicist, he correlated the stock price movement with the movement of small particles in the liquid form. So these were the studies before the foundation of the efficient market hypothesis and random walk theory. In the mid 1960s, Eugene Fama, who was also a great economist, internationally recognized economist, coined the term efficient capital market. Now, what is meant by the efficient capital market? The simple meaning of efficient capital market is that each and every market participant is knowing each and every news and information, latest updates about the respective company. So, in this efficient capital market, there is an intense competition between the buyers and the sellers. There will be huge war between the buyers and the sellers. So, this leads to fair pricing of debt and equity securities. Because we know that debentures prices and interest rates also varies. In the same way, stock prices also vary from minute to minute, from second to second. So, there is an intense competition of buyers and sellers. There are lakhs and crores of investors and traders which are involved in the stock market and debenture markets. These people always trade in huge amount with huge volume, which leads to fair pricing of debt and equity securities. So, this says that the market is efficient. Each and every information, each and every news, each and every update is freely available. As we know that today we are having the information at our fingertips, as all the mobile phones are having the internet connectivity. We get regular updates from second to second on the stock markets, from the bourses, as well as from the different apps and business channels. After that, we are also having access to television sets on which you can find the business channel flashing the breaking news of business world and corporate world, which are related to the company's stock. Then every day we used to get the pink papers like Economic Times, Financial Express, etc. So, this information is freely available and the market is efficient. No hidden information is there. No hidden news is there. So, market is completely efficient. This was the view of Eugene Fama. After that, Mr. Benjamin Friedman said that efficient market hypothesis is a credo statement. What he said? It is a credo statement. As it is a credo statement, it is the statement of faith and it is not a scientific proposition, because it is not having any kind of evidence or any kind of formula to prove that market is efficient. So, this is a matter of faith, it is not a scientific proposition. After that, one of the most wealthiest person consistently over the eras, over the decades, and one of the most successful stock market investor, one of the most richest person in the world, Mr. Warren Buffett, says that the stock market is just a matter of fear versus greed. When there is a fear, people used to sell their stocks of good companies also. When there is a fear, people do not participate into the stock markets, even when the stock prices are pretty low. And when there is a greed, at that time people used to buy the stocks of even the companies which are not reputed. The prices of stock are extremely high. Even at that time, people used to buy the stocks because they are having a greed. So there is always a fight between a fear and greed. These stock movement are related to the fear and greed and not related to the corporate realities. We have seen many of times that even when the news is very positive for the company, the stock prices goes down instead of going up. We have also seen many a times that if the news is very bad, the stock prices goes up. So this is, we can say, the factor of fear and greed and the matter of big players. It also says that when the market is in the fear mode, you have to be greedy, and when the market is into the greed mode, you have to be fearful. So you have to act exactly opposite of the market. So this was the finding of Warren Buffett. But now, what modern economists are saying? The modern economists are saying that the central idea of modern finance is the efficient market hypothesis, and the efficient market hypothesis is widely accepted by the modern economist. This is that today if you want to earn real money in the stock market, you should understand that the market is efficient, there is no hidden information, and you have to follow the trend and the patterns. It also says that efficient market hypothesis gives you the right and clear idea about how to invest, how to build your own portfolio, how to analyze the stock, and how to analyze the market conditions. It also avoids the confusion of investors and traders. Remember one thing, that news-based trading, news-based investment leads to losses. You should have the in-depth knowledge of a company. Do not do anything only on the basis of news. So, EMH understanding is must for investors. So, these are the complete idea about the efficient market hypothesis. This is the foundation of mid 1960s by the Eugene Fama. So in this video we have covered the 1953's Maurice Kendall observations, 1959's observations of Harry Roberts and Osborne, and the mid 1960s observations of Eugene Fama, and today's observation of Warren Buffett and modern economist. In the next video we are going to study the random walk hypothesis and its assumptions. Thank you.